All right, welcome back everyone to the channel and the pod. Here we are for our Roosters and our Storm game chat, and another game, another another game, another Storm victory by 40 plus. It was almost half a chance of rivaling the Tigers game there at one point. It was 30-0 before halftime. So yeah, just the Storm are incredible, and the Roosters were kind of all over them at the start. They were making sort of 70, 80 meters, getting through their work, and then a couple of sort of, I guess, lucky or against the grain kind of tries from Storm, and yeah, that was all they needed. A couple of tries in front to then push away and do their thing. So they're an incredible team. I don't see how you can see any team beating them unless hopefully Cleary gets back to close to full health. Yeah, just the top two teams by far. I think they just broke the record for the most times, putting 40 on a team. So in a season, so pretty special, and 13 on the trot. So there you go. And led by Dale Finucane and Kenny Bromwich. Who would have thought that would be the case? So 76 and 71 for those two boys. Both got a try. Just did everything right, really. No real negatives. A couple of turnover tackles, tackle breaks, plenty of tackles. So two players that no one really has at this stage, unless you decide to pick up Finucane a while ago. But I think you may have traded him out for this point because he didn't really perform too well. So that's unfortunate for that. But yeah, those two there. Nico Hines with 69. Was a good one for anyone who held. He had a fairly high break even, just over 70, but this will keep him around that price or just dip below that. So happy days, and it looks like Pat might be back in around 18 or 19, so he's probably almost going to be a trade out from here. If you traded him out early, then I suppose you could have expected that he was going to get a big score. Obviously, he had a few lighter ones, the last three, but this is kind of more like the type of game that we have, especially if they're going to win the game. Money Monster with 64 and he's 80, just showing why he's one of the top tier halves that I spoke about in my video, averaging 56, so 64 there. 2 try assists and a try, a couple of turnover tackles, 200 kick meters, 77 run meters, just doing a bit of everything there. Can't complain at all. So he's going to be, especially with Cleary out, he'll be the third best half in the game, along with Moses, I'd say, at this stage. So that's Munster. Brandon Smith, if you have him, if you were thinking about picking him up, he's a 741k and he keeps scoring that way. 55 average, 58 this game, 5 missed tackles, played 66 minutes, got a try again, just keeps continuing to score tries. So you won't expect that to continue happening, but while it does, keep riding the train. But hooker and mid, he's clearly one of the best hookers at the moment. So if you're using him in that position, awesome. If not, you can use him in the mid or on the bench, whatever you need to. But yeah, he's doing really good. Adokar with 3 tries, but not really fantasy relevant. Kamakamika with 53. A couple of nice runs there, no negatives, which was awesome for him. Isaac Liu sort of having a real crack for the Roosters boys there with, getting 51 there, much above his average, but not relevant. Hughesy, someone that a few people would have been selecting this week. DCE or Hughes was the chat I got this week, and you watch DCE come out and get 100 now. It's just how the game goes, guys. You pick up the guy and he gets 48, and you're like, it's not great. You're pretty unhappy with it because he's averaging 63, but it's one of the things you got to cop. He's that type of play in these types of games where they have a dominant display. He could get 70 or 80 and 3 or 4 try assists and a try, or he's going to get less kick meters, a normal amount of run meters, maybe 1 try assist and get sort of around that 50 mark. So you take that. He's always in the game. He's always running the ball. There's always going to be something happening for Hughes. So just take it week to week. 48 this week, 80 next week. Think of it like that. Obviously, it's not ideal when you pick him up now, but just deal with it and move on. Same with Crichton. Has those down weeks. We've seen him get 30 odd. We've seen him get 40 odd a few times. This is one of those 40 odd games. They got smashed. There's no real way for him to really get into the game too much. So 46 for him. Only 1 tackle break, 2 offloads. 32 tackles and 130 meters for only 3 misses. You can kind of take that when your team gets spanked 46-0. Similar with Tedesco. He tried his best. He tried his guts out. There was just no way through for him. The team wasn't able to get him in the best positions. He was kind of trying to have to do a lot of it himself, and you can see why that's what he got a bunch of those tackle breaks. Probably should have got a few more. There's a bunch of, I suppose they can't really call a tackle break because he runs into them in a straight, the defense is in a straight line. He runs into them, puts his hand on them, pushes off and runs sideways or back and sideways and around. So I don't think they're crediting those ones, but those ones where he's running sideways and they try to tackle him rather than him just putting his hand out, they're giving him those ones. So that's the tackle break situation if anyone was sort of thinking about that. But yeah, a team that got smashed, there's no attacking stats for him, 41. So we take that. A little bit cheaper for anyone who's looking to pick him up in sort of 18, 19. But yeah, Kafusi, everyone's favourite man at the moment, especially if you're a New South Wales fan. 38, so no real need to talk about him. Sam Farrell's, a few of us have him. I personally do. I actually played him this week over Joey Manu. So got 7 extra points, which was fine. We'll take the 37, knowing that he was starting and they didn't really have a recognised hooker on the bench, except for Hutchison as maybe like a utility guy. So Verrills with 37, I'll take that for sure. He hasn't come back yet, the same player that he was before he's had those couple of big injuries with the ACL and his injuries this year. So I think he's going to take a little while to warm into it. And obviously just not running the ball as much. Defense was good, but yeah, not really offering too much for the Roosters at this stage. Taukauho, another lower game for him, 35 after a decent one last time. And yeah, you can see people are slightly interested in picking him up because he's 500k playing in round 17, but I just don't see the upside with him. He's averaging 42 for a reason. Like, it's not like he's played limited minutes all year. So that's that. Lockie Lamb sort of only scoring a little bit better than what he did before he went down injured. So another 35. Again, I wouldn't be picking him up this week. Obviously, the Roosters are playing in round 17. Just remember that, guys. Hargraves with the lowest score, so he's going to be up and down again. Like he had that 80-minute game and scored amazingly, and then he could still have a 64-minute game and not play so well fantasy-wise. So that's that. Sam Walker, 32, had an okay game. Obviously, his normal few missed tackles, got smashed a few times, and yeah, no attacking stats for them. So for him to get 32 is actually fairly solid if we're being real here. We've seen him get some lower games, that's for sure. If you're holding on to Remus Smith, I think now is definitely the time to trade him out. 475k, probably slightly under that after this week. But I'd be moving him on now that they have the buy in 17. He's done a great job for you. There's plenty of good centers out there, going for Ramian, even Manu, but I'd probably leave him as a lower tier player, Averillo and stuff like that. So yeah, time to move Smithy on. If you got Manu, I think you just definitely hold him until post buy. This one here they play, so you're going to use him. But 8 missed tackles is pretty shit. It's really not what he usually gets, I should say. But defending on that side with Adokar and Olam, there's going to be a couple of missed tackles there when they're scoring their tries. So that's that. It's good to see him get 6 tackle breaks and a turnover tackle. But yeah, the old 8 missed tackles was a killer there. I'm personally holding him until after 17 and working out from there. Tupanua, just not scoring well enough. They do play 17, so you hold him for that, and then you can move him on. I think that price is okay at the moment. You don't want to slip under 500k and be a pain in the ass for you. Joseph Suwali gets a 30 on the wing, so try saver. A couple of turnover tackles, ran the ball okay, but again, in a defeated side, a smashed side, there's not really much he could do. So 30 there for Suwali, and we use him as a cash out. If you've got him in a team like me, awesome. He plays next week when Teddy's out, for example. Easy as to get your 20, 30 points, hopefully, and run to the bank. But that's that for Suwali. Moving down to Olam, if you're still holding him, got a couple of try assists, but still only 28, so just not scoring as well as he used to. The Storm's attack, apart from the tries for Adokar, which I feel them were sort of off the cuff ones, the early kick from Munster, things like that. The majority of their tries are coming through the middle. Tries through the big boys. You got Kenny Bromwich on the edge, but that's before you get to Olam. Also we have Kenny. It was Dale Finucane, Hines on the inside of Olam. And then a few from Adokar really and Brandon Smith obviously scoring every week. So Olam's not getting as much action as he was, which is annoying. So that's that. If you're holding on to Welch, like I don't think many people would be. Let's check on that. 3.7. So still 3.7. Olam, we've got 12. So yeah, still a lot with Olam. I think it's time to trade him out, or you just use him as cover. He's 383, so cheap now. I can't believe we bought him over 500k in the people squad. But yeah, 383, almost worth holding just as cover. If you've got 4 centers, then you can probably flick him. But yeah, that price is too little, unfortunately. That's about it, really. Georgie Jennings, Hutchison 0 in his 20 minutes, and Fafita -7 in his 4. So that was plenty of fun. Didn't come back on after his sim bin. They weren't happy with that. So there you go, guys. That's the update for Thursday. Let me know what trades you're doing. If you need any help, just jump into the comments there. I'll try and get to them over the next day or two. Obviously, just with the first game there, you only have your captain and vice captain locked, and any other trades where you needed to move pieces around. Other than that, it's free for all trade until 6 p.m. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe if you are. I really appreciate that. The best way to support me, and we'll catch you in the next one, team when we go through those 2 Friday night games. Have a good night.